Namaste to all. Here I'm with a new video. In this video we are going to discuss the introduction related chapter unit 1, and in this we are discussing canons of taxation. Okay, this topic we are going to discuss. So without wasting further more time, let us start our topic. So here we are with the canons of taxation topic. Canons of taxation means directive principles to be followed by government while framing taxation policies and imposing the taxes on the people. So what are these means? These are the principles based on which taxation framework will be done, or taxation policies are framed. Okay, with change in economic policies and economic, political and social scenarios, taxation policies have undergone drastic changes with the regard to objectives, coverage and administration etc. जैसे जैसा number of years increase हो रहे, situations and other things are changing in the country. What happened? There are changes in the political and social administrative. Okay, to cover those challenges, income tax department also changing, our government is also changing its policies of taxation. For judging the merits of tax, Adam Smith gave a set of basic principles known as canons of taxation. So Adam Smith ने क्या करे, he has made some certain principles based on which taxation should be done, taxation policies should be made based on these itself. That is what Adam Smith said. So according to Adam Smith, there are certain policies which are to be followed for the framework and principles while framing the taxation policies, are making taxation rules and regulations. So those are called as canon. Okay, canon of equity, canon of certainty, canon of economy and canon of convenience. So equity, certainty, economy and convenience. Okay, ई और सी दोनों ही है, ई और सी दोनों ही है. ओके, ई सी बोलो बस, इजी हो जाएगा to remember the things. One is equality, another one certainty, another one economy, another one convenience. So these are the four things we need to remember why for writing the canon of taxation. So and government will make the taxation policies based on these principles itself. So we need to remember these things. So let us discuss one by one fast. Okay, first one, equality. Under these principles, rich shall bear higher tax burden. This canon of equity advocates that burden must be directly proportional to the income and wealth of a person. Income of a person determines the ability to pay. Tax burden should be more on rich than the poor. Rate should be reasonable and it must be encouraging to earn more and more. If rates are high, it will result in slow saving and low investment. Lack of equality may result into social disaster of economic crisis in the country. So what is this canon means? This canon of equity says higher income people should bear higher tax. Okay, जो ज़्यादा कमा रहा वो ज़्यादा bear करना tax burden. Okay, lower income people should pay lower tax, that is okay. But if based on this, if you go on increasing the tax burden to the richer people, what they will do, they will also not earn, अगर आप ज़्यादा टैक्स रेट लगा रहे, okay, and you are telling them to you earn more and you pay more, they will tell why should I earn more and pay to you, okay. I am the person who is bearing the risk and everything, and you are the person who comes to share the profits. So ऐसा mindset हो जाएगा कभी. तो what government need to see, the tax rate must not be more higher, okay, so that if it is more higher, then what will happens, people will not say interest to save the money, and this also makes a lack of equality in the social disaster and economic crisis. इनकम ही अर्न नहीं करते लोग, जितना चाहिए उतना ही अर्न कर लेते. So based on this equality basis we need to make the provisions. That is why surcharge is there, okay. That surcharge makes only higher income people should bear the higher tax and lower income people should bear the lower tax. और भी कम वाले हैं तो रिबेट एक और एक प्रोविज़न है 87 ए का, बिलो 5 लाख रुपीज़ पीपल विल गेट रिबेट अप टू 12,000 रुपीज़ 87 ए में. सो दैट इज़ व्हाट दे आर सेइंग, इफ़ योर इनकम इज़ लेस टैक्स पे करो, if your income is more tax pay, on the basis of equality it is. And government also need some specific amount of tax for to run the government, for the administration and judicial purposes, also for the security purpose of the country. So certainty should be there in taxation. So certainty, according to Adam Smith, the tax policies must be specific and there should be not any uh, confusion about the amount of tax payment etc. Amount of tax कितना पे करना है, when they need to pay, all this should be known to the taxpayer. This canon also emphasizes that government should not follow arbitrary method and show discrimination in imposing the taxes. हाँ, जस्ट गवर्नमेंट आके तुम ज़्यादा पैसे कमा रहे पे करो बोल के ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते, आर्बिट्री नहीं रहना है. द टैक्स लॉज शुड नॉट बी सब्जेक्ट टू फ्रीक्वेंट अमेंडमेंट्स, ओके. आपके हाथ में अमेंडमेंट चेंज करने की पावर है बोल के जब चाहे तब आप चेंज भी नहीं कर सकते. इफ फ्रीक्वेंट अमेंडमेंट्स आर देयर इट इंडर्स द इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी, ओके. तो ये एक प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी में. सो देयर शुड बी सर्टेन पॉलिसीज, ओके. दैट इज वाई कंटिन्यूसली देयर विल बी सेम tax method and other things. If extra amount is needed by the government at that time for additional purpose, surcharge will be levied, okay. Previously surcharge was levied 15% from the individual highest, but now it is up to 1 crore rupees, okay. Below 1 crore rupees, from 50 lakhs to 1 crore 10% they are taking surcharge. Above 1 crore up to 2 crores they are charging how much, 15%. And above 2 crores, till 5 crores, okay, they are charging 25% of surcharge. And those who are earning more than 5% they need to pay higher tax at 37% as surcharge only. Tax on tax is known as surcharge. So whatever additional money is required in case of emergency situations like that, what government is doing, they will take extra charges. And government also makes some certain policies that everyone should pay tax within a specific time. So amount and how much they need to pay and what is the amount of tax and at what time they need to pay, both should be certainly known to the taxpayers, so it should be more economical one. Like that, suppose your amount of tax is uh, more than 10,000, you need to pay advance tax. Advance tax pay करना है if your tax amount is exceeding 10,000. So 90% of the amount you should pay in installments. So all these provisions are made for the purpose of smooth administration and for the easy going. So certainty रहनी चाहिए. Okay, so government also know that if someone's income tax is more than 10,000, 90% of tax they need to pay in advance itself in installment. एक ही बार पे करने के लिए नहीं बोलते वो भी. So all those are provisions are made on some systematic principle basis, those which are we are studying in this topic now. See, as I said, canon of economy. Canon of economy, the principle states that minimum possible expenditure is to be incurred to collect the tax. Tax should be economical, and the cost of collection is too high on account of high administrative expenses, tax burden, then very purpose of levying tax. Okay, सो जो पर्पस है वही चले जाता. सपोज आपके पास से गवर्नमेंट टैक्स कलेक्ट कर रहा 10 लाख रुपए, 10,000 लाख रुपए सोचेंगे. बट टू गेट दैट, इफ दे इंकर मोर अमाउंट, okay, say to get this, if 5,000 lakhs are incurring as expenditure itself, then the main purpose of levying the tax itself becomes waste. So there should be minimum possible expenditure to collect the tax. टैक्स कलेक्ट करने के लिए, वसूल करने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए? कम खर्चा होना चाहिए, less expenditure to collect the tax. That is why government is making some policy TDS, tax deducted at source. Okay, government cannot go each and every employee and tell them to pay the tax. What government will tell to the employer, आपके employer को बोलते. ओके, सैलरीड पर्सन है तो एम्प्लॉयर को बोल रहे. एम्प्लॉयर whoever employees are there, if their income exceeds basic exemption limit, जो भी उनका बेसिक एग्जम्पशन लिमिट है उससे ज़्यादा हो जा रहा, आप क्या करो? उनको सैलरी पे करते वक्त उनका टैक्स अमाउंट जो भी है वो TDS के रूप में डिडक्ट कर दो. TDS, टैक्स डिडक्टेड एट सोर्स, वी विल कॉल व्हाट? टैक्स डिडक्टेड एट सोर्स. सो एम्प्लॉय को टैक्स पे करते वक्त ही, एम्प्लॉय को पैसे देते वक्त ही सैलरी में से क्या करेगा? TDS डिडक्ट करके बाकी अमाउंट उनको पे करेगा. सो दैट government need not worry to collect the tax from each and every employee. Similarly, in case of casual incomes, game shows, TV shows, crossword puzzles, like that. Suppose Milo Evaru Kotishwaru is there, or Evaru Milo Kotishwaru nowadays, or Big Boss, any other TV show which is paying winning prize to the contestant. Okay, उनको अगर 10 लाख का प्राइज मनी मिल रहा तो उसमें 30% TDS, ओके, प्लस 4% HEC मिला के उन्होंने डिडक्ट कर लेते. ओके, वॉट एवर टैक्स इज देयर, दैट amount will be deducted, remaining amount will be paid to the contestant. So these are certain policies which are made by the government for the levying and collecting the tax. These are the principles based on which these all are been come. रिबेट का सेक्शन हो या सरचार्ज का सेक्शन हो, कैसे फ्रेम हो रहा मीन्स बेस्ड ऑन दिस प्रिंसिपल्स इटसेल्फ. सो नेक्स्ट, कैनन ऑफ next one is convenience. The principle states that the tax must be collected in convenient manner from the taxpayers. For example, farmers feels to okay uh, convenient to pay tax at the sale of scrap. Salaried person and landlord of the property feel to conveniently whenever they receive the income as salary or rent respectively. To the extent of tax amount should be collected installment through banks. So what government is telling, that is why they said uh, if your income exceeds basic exemption limit, if your income is exceeding basic exemption limit, okay, and your tax amount exceeds 10,000, टैक्स कितना पे कर रहे हैं आप, वो अमाउंट एक्सीड हो रहा 10,000, you need to pay 90% of tax in installment basis each quarter. If business person है, okay, businessman is there, not Mahesh Babu, other business people, okay, what they need to do, they need to pay their tax amount on the basis of their, wait a minute, on the basis of their income. So based on their income, how much tax they will be charged from the tax beforehand itself they will know. So based on that their income, what they need to pay, if their income is exceeding 10 sorry, their tax amount is exceeding 10,000 rupees, 90% they need to pay what, tax amount. So that will be collected in installment basis. First quarter 15%, second quarter 45%, next quarter 75%, like that each and every quarter some installment basis income tax will be collected. Okay, these principles, these rules and regulations are being framed based on these principles itself. So जैसे बोले ना, सैलरीड पर्सन है, रेंट आ रहा, इनकम आ रहा, तो डिडक्ट करना, ये सब चीज़ें, ये सब हो रहे, राइट. सो TDS concept and other concepts, all these are based on the these canons itself. Other canons of taxation are there. Okay, it is almost 17 minutes. Okay, no problem. समझ में आना इसलिए एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ, नहीं तो रीड आउट कर लिए तो हो जाता, वैसा नहीं होता. सो अदर कैनन्स ऑफ टैक्सेशन आर simplicity, elasticity, diversity, expedicity and coordination. These are other things, okay, productivity also there. So other people other than the Adam Smith also set some other canons or principles based on which tax rules are framed. So let us see those also. Canon of productivity. The term productivity means collecting specific revenue or income to the government, sufficient revenue or income to the government. It is considered as productive tax policy with regard to the rate, okay, and to meet the expenditure and provide required facilities to the public. Okay, so few productive taxes rather than numbering the unproductive taxes. Okay, few productive taxes are better than number of unproductive taxes. आपको दिखने के लिए बहुत सारे टैक्सेस है, ओके, उससे अच्छा थोड़े टैक्सेस कलेक्ट कर लो एंड वो प्रोडक्टिव भी रहना है. दैट इज वाई GST हैज़ कम. इससे पहले वैट, टोल, टर्मिनल टैक्स, एक्साइज ड्यूटी, ओके, एंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स, ये सब चीज़ें नाम रहते थे। ओके, अब ये सब किस में आ गए, जीएसटी में आ गए। एंड based on the nature of the product and other things, certain specific rates have been placed. Highest rate is 28%. Okay, so these, there should be some productive taxes rather than just for the name sake there should be a tax. गिफ्ट टू टैक्स बोल के एक टैक्स था, इससे पहले था, अब वो अबॉलिश हो गया। तो ये सब नाम के वास्ते जो है वो हटा दे के एक अच्छी टैक्स सिस्टम लाना है। with the concept of one nation one tax, GST came into the picture. So like that. Next one, simplicity. Simplicity, the principle state that need to have simple taxation system in the country. Okay, the provisions of the tax laws are tax rates and provisions of the act must be within the reach of the common man and understanding to the provisions. The rules, regulations and must promote amma వస్తానేను. So it should be, the rules and regulations must promote the honesty among the taxpayers and officials working in the tax department. A complicated procedure not only irritates common man but also encourages more ease of tax evasion and corrupt practices. So taxation policies whatever are there, it should be easily understandable to people, so that is why it is should be simple one. Okay, but only expert will understand, common people will not understand, because the people who are framing the, I'm saying it seriously, the people who are framing the policies, it is not easily understandable to common man. Okay, प्रोफेशनल्स चाहिए ना, इसलिए उनको भी कुछ काम धंधा होना है, रोजी रोटी होनी है. Canon of elasticity. The tax policies of the government should certainly flexible. It should be capable of increasing the revenue in times of emergency situations like war, floods, etc. That is why I said previously only surcharge was 15%. Now surcharge has become 37%. Okay, why? Because in few years back, if we see, there are many crises in the country. So to cope up those situations, what is required? Extra amount of tax is required, that is being collected from the public itself. Okay, but not from all. Those who are earning more, they need to pay higher tax. That is why surcharge is the thing. This is about elasticity. Elasticity means easily changeable one, flexible one. Next, canon of diversity. Diversity, canon of diversity. According to this principle, there should be many taxes instead of single tax. Taxation system of economy should make most of the potential taxpayers contribute to the revenue of the country government in one tax or other tax. So there should be number of taxes, here they are saying diversify the tax system they are saying, but in that diversification you need not just for the namesake don't put the tax. So that is why both indirect and direct taxes are there in the country. Now if you see, direct taxes which are levied in the country are, one is income tax, another one is wealth tax. Indirect taxes you see, one is GST, another one customs. some products are having excise duty but not. So this is the diversity of the tax. Goods के ऊपर, commodities के ऊपर GST customs ये है, और इनकम एंड वेल्थ के ऊपर इनकम टैक्स एंड वेल्थ टैक्स है. सो कैनन ऑफ एक्सपेडिसी or expendency. Why it here expediency means according to this principle taxes should be levied after considering economical, social and political factors. Imposing new taxes or new methods of tax payment should not be invite social and political resistance. So that is why whenever there is new tax policy nowadays, if you see what is happen, we are having new tax option. Country like India will have many issues of political and social. Okay, to make a policy of tax or provision in the India, so people need to think a lot. So that is why what here expediency is also one of the important thing, otherwise there will be political and social resistance from the people in the country. So what they did, 115 BAC is there, 115 BAC, a new tax option is given. Tax option है ये, to pay tax at lower rate. Okay, for every 2,50,000 rupees 5% tax is increasing. Okay, but this policy of 115 BAC is an option, because if you go to BAC certain deductions are there, those deductions are not allowed. For example, standard deduction is there under section 16 rupees 50,000 to the salaried person. Okay, this deduction is not allowed if you opt for 15 BAC. HRA exemption is there, HRA exemption, that exemption also will not be allowed. So it is up to the taxpayer to decide which option he want to take. So these are the certain things when people are moving towards changes. Okay, what government is doing, it is making simple solutions to the problems of the tax policies. And canon of coordination. In federal system like our country, there should be a proper coordination between taxes imposed by central and state government. That is why we are having union list, state list and concurrent list, three lists for the tax policies. So ours is a federal system, both state government are and central government are in need of money. You can take the example of GST itself. GST, there are two types of GST. Okay, for intrastate sales and other interstate. For interstate, IGST is levied. Which is levied? IGST is levied. For intrastate, CGST, SGST is levied. CGST portion go to the central government and SGST portion of tax go to the state government. Okay, whereas interstate means when you are selling goods from one state to another state, at that time IGST is levied. In case of union territories, UTGST is there. Union territories के लिए UTGST is there. So in place of SGST, UTGST will be levied. So in federal system, proper coordination should be there. That is what here the practices are there. Okay, there should be other factors also should be considered for the country like India. Those are promoting national interest, minimum sacrifice by the taxpayer are promoting honesty by having few taxes, lower rate of tax. Okay, no scope for discrimination among the income earning earners and customers. So efficient administrative system, these are the four other points also need to be considered while framing the taxation policies. Hope you have understood the concept thoroughly. I have explained totally in detail so that easily you can write the answer. So here I am ending the video. सीखना बन तो जीतना बन, सीखते रहो जीतने के लिए। जय हिंद एंड शेयर विथ योर फ्रेंड्स।